Defining principles of practice in the 21. KBU, TLC, making learning fun. Vision 2023 is our vision. Beyond the chalkboard, making tech a mission. Moodle and Kaltura working while you type. Using tech to change the world is more profound than hype. Expand the learner's mind into the future gives us power. Learn how people use that tech, I'll show you in an hour. Beyond the chalkboard, moving towards a better way to teach you learn to be. Beyond the chalkboard, moving towards a better world. The stars of the TLC. Wallen Polytechnic University, teaching and learning commerce. Yeah. Hi there and welcome to Beyond the Chalkboard. I am your host, Dr. Gordon Cobb. We are here at the Teaching and Learning Commons online in virtual online space, in cyberspace, in COVID space, and I am joined today by a number of my esteemed colleagues who have been working with PebblePad. And so what we're going to do is talk about ePortfolios and what PebblePad is, and a number of people who piloted using PebblePad in their classrooms. Beyond the chalkboard. So the first person that I wanted to talk to is my friend Lesley McCannell, who I've worked with at the Teaching and Learning Commons for not a number of years. It feels like a number of years because with COVID, it feels like it's been 10 years since we've been away from campus. But yeah. I guess, Lesley, you and I, we've worked together for just over a year now. Mm-hmm. How are you doing today?
I'm great today. Thanks, Gordon, and I'm happy to be here with you.
Excellent. So you have a little bit of background about ePortfolios and PebblePad. So why don't you fill us in?
Sure. Well, this is actually fall 2020. It's the 10th year anniversary for the HRMT degree program using ePortfolio learning throughout the program. So we started in 2010 using Mahara, and this summer we just transitioned and a few of us piloted PebblePad, and starting this fall, all the faculty in the program are using PebblePad as their ePortfolio platform.
Oh, wow. Wow. All of them. How many faculty is that?
I think it's about 10. Yeah. So excellent. Every course in our program has an ePortfolio component.
And what made you choose ePortfolios as an important element for your courses?
So it was 10 years ago where we were a relatively new program, and we'd launched our program about 3 years prior, and we were reviewing the outcomes and how our students were doing, and we were a little bit disappointed with what was happening at the end of our program, and we found that students weren't retaining the information in the way that we thought they would, and they weren't really able to connect all the pieces between the different courses in the program. And so we were stymied with what to do because we thought it was a really well-designed program, but the learning wasn't as deep as we wanted, and it wasn't as stacked as we wanted. People were thinking of their courses as a terminal course. So I take my compensation course, I learn everything about compensation, I sell my textbook, and I move on. And when you get to your final course in the program, and certainly when you're working as an HR professional in industry, there's an expectation that you can pull all the pieces from all your courses or all the different parts of human resource management, that you can pull it all together and use it to make really valid systemic decisions for your organization. So basically, we wanted to find a way to deepen the learning and to help students kind of connect the ideas that they were learning in each courses. And I had been playing around with ePortfolios at the time, and the faculty was really interested and excited to try something like an ePortfolio. That we knew it was a high impact practice, and we thought it could perhaps make a difference for our students.
Beyond the chalkboard. Hi, Monica, and thanks for joining us on Beyond the Chalkboard.
Hi, Gord. Happy to be here.
So, Monica, what made you decide to choose ePortfolios as a part of your courses?
Well, in the HRMT program, we use ePortfolios in all the courses. So it was a natural to really way for students to help reflect on their learning.
And what was your best experience relating to piloting PebblePad over the past few months?
Well, the students really responded to the ease with which they learned PebblePad. So they were able to, many of them self-taught. So many of them, didn't attend. I provided a really brief online orientation, like a working session to work together to set things up. But only about a third of my students took advantage of that. And the rest of the students just opened it up and they were able to figure out how to build an ePortfolio. And the second thing that I think was really exciting for the students was they really liked the design features. So they were able to produce something that they felt really proud of and a professional document that represented their learning.
So, Monica, what was your best experience in the PebblePad pilot?
Well, I really enjoyed trying out new technology. I enjoyed the fact how easy it was for me to learn as well as for students, and how much they enjoyed actually creating their PebblePads.
So now that you've used it for a while, how do you think that you might use it in the future?
Well, we're continuing to use it in our program. So all of the courses continue to have ePortfolios as part of it. And so we have, we have switched to using PebblePad. I've expanded its use. So I teach in the grad diploma program at KPU, and I've introduced PebblePad to that to the course that I teach in that program. And in that particular program, well, in all programs, I think it actually serves as a really fantastic bridge between education and your professional work. It provides students with kind of a record, a documentation, a showcase of what they've done. And for employers, that's really powerful information. And it also helps to reinforce the idea that of the importance of continual lifelong learning, right? It's really important to keep learning, and PebblePad is a way to help us kind of capture and demonstrate that continuous learning journey.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I think it's a big 21st century learning concept is the lifelong learner, isn't it?
Yeah, and absolutely. And one of the things on that front, one of the things that PebblePad did for us that has been a huge kind of issue or concern is it addresses what happens to a student's ePortfolio once they leave KPU. Because our students, they contributed a significant amount of work in developing their ePortfolios, and they're really proud of them. And it serves as an excellent tool for them as they're job searching, because they can actually show the employer, this is what I can do. Here it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so what happens when they leave KPU? And with PebblePad, they have the option to continue to have access to that ePortfolio throughout their careers.
Yeah, I've done the same thing in some of my music tech courses where I have the students build web pages using Wix.
Okay.
Because I wanted them to have access after they graduated. Yeah. And with the other platform we were using previously, they weren't able to do that.
Right.
And what I love about PebblePad is it's essentially the same thing. It's basically a website builder, but it really tailors to education.
Absolutely.
And it's so easy to use. It's just drag and drop. Yeah. And you can be instantly creative and expressive. So I think it's a great medium, and I'll be using it in my classes for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
And Monica, how about you? How do you see yourself using PebblePad in the future?
Well, I am really excited to learn more about its functionalities as well, so we can build in more of the reflection templates as well, so students can build out their ePortfolios with PebblePad, not just for the courses, but also for their personal use.
Beyond the Chalkboard. Do you need to connect with someone in the Teaching and Learning Commons? Maybe you want to check out upcoming workshops or register for events and programs. Are you on the search for the multidimensional Fresh Desk or seeking out the internationally renowned blog site? Then look no further and go to kpu.ca/TL Commons, and you'll be interwebbed directly to the KPU Teaching and Learning website, your one-stop shop for all of your teaching and learning needs. That's kpu.ca/TL Commons. Again, that's kpu.ca/TL Commons. Beyond the Chalkboard. I wanted to ask you, so if you ran into one of your colleagues in the hallway and you could tell them something about PebblePad, what would be like your elevator pitch about PebblePad?
Well, I guess I would have an elevator pitch about ePortfolio learning and an elevator pitch about the platform, right? Because I see them as different. So if I was talking about PebblePad, I'd say it's easy to use and it looks professional. And, for students, that's wonderful. They love that. If I was talking about ePortfolio learning, I would say that ePortfolio learning it just deepens the learning through students really connecting with what they're learning. They're personalizing it, so it deepens their learning while they're here, and it helps them take that learning, transition that learning out to their professional careers.
And it makes it more transformative because they're able to take what they're learning, reflect upon it through their ePortfolio, and then learn through their own life perspective. And for me as a teacher, that's what I've always found to be is kind of the hook, is if you can take what you're doing in class and make it relate to what the students are experiencing in their real life, they're going to be so much more invested in it. So that's what I love about the portfolios, is that the students get to put themselves in it in a real way. Yeah,
so it reflects them, their learning, what they're capable of, what they've achieved. And so it is, by the end of the program, our students have created a really significant ePortfolio. And when they look at it, it's one of those chest-pounding moments where they get to say, hey, look what I did and look what I can do. And I don't think we want to ever underestimate the value of that, because it's so easy to lose and forget our progression. And I think that's one of the things that ePortfolios help us capture and remember. And a side benefit has been that a number of our students have said to us that when they're looking for work and they're sitting in their interview and they say, I have an ePortfolio that captures some of the work that I've done and some of the learning. Are you interested in seeing that? Employers invariably are very interested in seeing their ePortfolio, because what it does for an employer is it reduces the risk when they're hiring, right? So if you can show me what you can do, that's really, really powerful. Or if you can show me what you've done, that's really powerful.
And Monica, what would you want to share with your colleagues about PebblePad?
Well, what I would like to say to you, try it. I think you're going to be so happy how easy it is to learn. You're going to enjoy using it, and you're going to really see your students flourish and grow as they're using their ePortfolios and PebblePad to reflect on their learning.
Yeah. I guess the last thing I'm going to ask you is, what kind of feedback did you receive from students relating to the use of PebblePad? Did they like it or did they not like it?
They love it. They loved it. Many of our students were used to using the platform that we used before PebblePad, and so a lot of them were comparing the two, and invariably they prefer PebblePad.
As do I.
Yeah.
And Monica, what kind of feedback did you get from your students?
Well, I received great feedback, both from students who never have done ePortfolios before and from those who have used another platform before. And they felt it was easy to use. It looked professional. The end product was really nice. There was a nice ability to use images and text and videos, and they felt that they could be creative with it.
It's so important that students feel that they can be creative, eh?
Absolutely. And it helped them to not just showcase their learning, also do their self-introductions, share a little bit about themselves, and using their creativity. And they really enjoyed it.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today for talking about PebblePad. I wish you the best of luck with your teaching. And if you want to learn more about PebblePad, you can go to the Teaching and Learning Commons website and you can find more information there. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you at the next episode of Beyond the Chalkboard.
Thank you, Gord. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Defining principles of practice in the 21. KBU, TLC, making learning fun. Vision 2023 is our vision. Beyond the Chalkboard. Making making tech a mission. Moodle and Kaltura working while you type. Using tech to change your world is more profound than hype. Expand the learner's mind until the future gives us power. Learn how people use that tech, I'll show you in an hour. Beyond the chalkboard, moving towards a better way to teach, to learn to be. Beyond the chalkboard, moving towards a better world. The stars of the TLC, Wallen Polytechnic University.